This may not be a video with wide appeal, but it's one I'm going to make anyway, for other writers and for my future self really. Because something dropped into place for me recently when I wasn't expecting it. I ambushed myself in a way that I didn't see coming. And that happened because I was able to read something that I'd written as though someone else had written it. And just for a short time, it wasn't that I liked it because I'd worked so hard on it, or I liked it because it came out exactly like I hoped. It wasn't even that I liked it because of how much time I'd spent editing it. I just liked it because I thought it was good writing. I'm sure if you're a writer, you'll be familiar with the constant seesaw of confidence and self-doubt that comes with writing, loving what you're doing while being endlessly frustrated by it at almost the exact same time. And if you do know that feeling, then hopefully you'll also know that I'm not congratulating myself here or blowing my own trumpet. The opposite, in fact. I'm saying that as writers, we need to make sure we take enough time to realise what we've managed to accomplish with our writing. I'm not talking about publishing or winning awards or selling books. I'm talking about what we achieve by spending our free time, which to many people is precious, to capture something we've dreamed up, a concept or a story that came to us from nowhere, then sitting down and turning that into a universal message that other people can read and understand. I know for myself, when I think about my writing, it's always with a goal in mind. I'm always thinking, I'm here, how do I get to there? This is the start of the story, how do I get to the end of it? This story's done, what do I write next? All the time, only facing forward. And when I read that little bit of my own writing, a simple line of dialogue I'd written early last year, it made me do what I almost never really do. Stop for a second and look backwards. It's hard to know while you're writing whether you're managing to make your story what you wanted when you set out, if you're doing it justice. If, like me, you never really spend much time reading over your older work or stopping to try to appreciate what you've managed to do with it, I think that makes it even harder to evaluate your current writing too. It doesn't make sense to put so much work into improving at writing, with the constant aim to make every story you write better than the last one, if you're never able to appreciate the difference between today's writing and where you started. Writing can be a lonely business. As much as you might talk to your friends and other writers, to some extent it's always just going to be you and your story, day after day. You're always going to be your own biggest critic. That's inevitable if you're trying to write something that you're really proud of. But you should be your own biggest fan too, at least internally. Make a note of all of your favourite lines and all the things you've written that turned out exactly like you hoped. And if that sounds aspirational to you, if you don't have favourite lines and nothing is what you want it to be, then try to cease that constant forward momentum and look backwards. Compare what you're writing now with the first thing you ever wrote. You might find if you get a different perspective on your writing, even by accident like I did, you can see it for what it really is, or at least get some of the way closer to that. It still won't be perfect, and it might not be where you want it to be, but it's proof of concept. It'll show that you've improved and that you're moving. And with that perspective, you can have a clearer picture of how to keep getting better in a sense of having come at least some of the way already. That's what happened to me when I read this piece of dialogue that I'd forgotten I'd written in the middle of this story. For a few seconds, it just made the whole project seem way more worthwhile. The line itself is so simple and straightforward that even now I'm beginning to forget what I liked about it so much in that moment. But I'm glad I saw it and I had a chance to feel good about it, even for a short time, because I'm already back to the point where I don't really know whether it's samey and unexceptional or exactly the kind of characterization and phrasing that I was really looking for. Could be either, the old man said. Could be neither. First thing to do is climb down off the thing and take a look at it.